Hey everyone, DarkDragoon here with Season 2, Episode 34 of my FTB Modpack Let's Play. As you guys can see, we have a gigantic hole over here, and you guys might be asking yourselves, alright Dragoon, what are you doing? Well, I'm making a gigantic tank. That's what I'm doing. It's literally gigantic. Why is it this gigantic? Why not? Just as I said with our quarry, why make things huge? Because we can. Alright, so yeah. So I'm just sort of basically, you guys have seen me make quite a few tanks in the past, but this one is probably the biggest one we've made so far. And I think it's going to be cool when it's done. It's going to require quite a bit more iron tank wall things. Probably not many of the more walls, but definitely the glass. The gauges. That's what they're called. Ooh, we might just actually have just enough of this too. That's kind of... that was completely unplanned, just so you guys know. So yeah, I'm just going to slap a valve here and a valve here, and I think that will be okay. And then we're going to basically just build this up like we would any other tank. You guys can definitely see how this is going to be very, very expensive, but we have tons and tons and tons of iron, so I'm not that worried about it at all. So let's see, how are we doing here? Probably best to do the back side first, since it's going to be the hardest to reach. And then of course I'm going to get myself trapped. Look at this, we're already almost out of this stuff. I'm almost afraid to get stuck down here. Whoops. Didn't mean to fall. Alright, so yeah, I'm going to make, probably go make myself a few more of these glass tank walls, and then I'll be back. Alright, I think we've got enough now. I am seriously hoping that this is a valid tank size. It should be. I'll be very disappointed if it's not, because then we're going to have to really mess with it to try to get it to work. So we're about to find out right now. And of course, not a valid tank size. So, this is a problem. I have plenty of that. I have plenty of that. Does it not like the valves here, maybe? That's going to make me very, very sad. Yep, very, very sad. Alright, let me play around with this and try to figure out what is too big about this thing. Probably everything. Alright, there we go. Had to make it one shorter on the bottom. A little bit sad about that, but always makes me sad when they don't let me do things completely and utterly ridiculously. Because my attitude is, I should be able to make it as ridiculous as I want, right? So, let's see here. Let's dig down. We're going to need plenty of room to set that up. Now, this could be problematic of how we have our... I'm not actually sure if this will be a problem. I don't imagine it will, since we're going to pump it out of the bottom one. But it looks a little weird, doesn't it? Maybe we should... Maybe we should move the valve up one, just to sort of give it a little bit of an aesthetic. Because then that would be sort of in line with this. Let's do that. I know, I'm making aesthetic choices. I can't help it. Like, let's put the valve there. That way, you can see the edge of the valve is in line with that. Now, if I were to... Here's a good question. Let's see if we completely ruin our everything. Alright, I'm actually going to... Some people call this cheating. I call it getting around a problem of not wanting to destroy the whole thing. So I turned it back off. So don't worry, everyone. It's okay. Okay, yeah, that'll work. So just to make it sort of look good, it doesn't sort of look out of place, we'll do that. Yeah, that works. Cool. And of course, we're going to have to fill all this back in with stone, which we have. Oop, there we go. Alright, so wrench you up. Put you there. And then we're going to just run it. So now I'm kind of, I don't know, I'm waffling back and forth because I don't want to be able to see this, but I'm not really seeing where it's going to give me much of a choice. Oh well, we'll deal with it. And I'm also going to run another line sort of off to the side here because this all is going to connect up like so. And I'm going to get myself stuck. I'm going to be doing that a lot right here. So like that, and yeah. So, because this other line is basically going to come out just beyond. Now, if I... Actually, the nice thing is this stuff will not connect. That is good. So what we can, once we get stuff going. So why don't we go ahead, grab ourselves a lever here. And, how can we do this while still hiding it? That is the question. Actually, different plan besides a lever. Let's grab a redstone torch. That'll do, because we can hide that. And that is good. So, redstone torch. Cool. Point of note, I need to do something with that iridium ore in a little while. Down here. Just trying to remember what I was doing. Redstone torch. That's what we were doing. And that can go... Where did it go? That's not where I want it. Right there? There we go. And now we have our liquid DNA flowing. Excellent. And now we can actually melt bees again. And it should gather itself down there. Cool. And we can see it. So, I'm going to actually go ahead and run this other line out the bottom and go ahead and give it... I think what we probably should do is hook up... I actually do hook up a lever to this one, but hook it up from down here to up here. That way we can actually control it from up here. And I'm trying to decide where would be the best place to do that. And I'm actually kind of thinking like right here. And it could run down to here. Yeah, that could work very well. Look at our liquid DNA. Bunch of it. Cool. So we're going to want to wrench this side of it. And then we're going to get ourselves stuck in here as usual. And, okay, you can see our gene pool is processing bees currently. And, let's see, I'm trying to decide how best to run this. I think something along these lines would be the way to go. And then this stuff, of course, would run underneath. Whoop, what did we just break into? Something. Alright, let me get myself out of here, because this is... Yeah, I'm stuck. Alright, let me get myself out of here, and I'll try to figure out exactly what we're digging into. Alright, so, as you guys can see, we got our pipes running, and they aren't connecting here, which is good. Make sure they're not connecting. And, yeah, so there we go. You can see I've got them set up here for later, but for now I'm just going to put dirt there just to remind myself that, hey, something's going to go here later. And the only other thing I want to hook up is I want to do this. Basically run ourselves a sort of hidden power so we can just sort of switch this on and off from probably right here. Seems like a good spot, like right there. And then we can just run it down like so. Of course that's a problem, but we can probably fix that. Where's our bag? There it is. With just a bit of cover. It should be fine. See, covers block redstone signals, which is exactly what we want. Yeah, as you can see, since it was connected there, we had some liquid DNA running through our pipes, but that's okay because that's kind of what we're going for here, except more based off here. So there we go, redstone signal on, liquid DNA pumping out the bottom, which will then pump up into stuff up here. Cool. So yeah, so now all we have to do is cover this back up, make it look all nice and fancy. Kind of think I should have probably done this since it's kind of already precedent we've set. So that this facing should be cobble. I shouldn't really need to cover any of that with the covers because we're just going to fill all of this in with stone just to make it look good. Obviously all this we won't really see, but this is all going to be covered. Come on. And finally, something along these lines. And we're forced to look at it right there, but you know what? We just have to deal with that. So there we go. Cool. So we got a switch. We can turn on and off the lever down there, and that will cause the liquid DNA to flow or not flow. Cool. Should be off to start with. So yeah, there we go. So, that done, you know, I was thinking about doing some more bee stuff for a little while longer, but I think we're kind of at the point where we can't really do much more until we sort of deal with some other things, get some more types of bees, and that's going to take some time. So, what I think we're going to do is we're just going to let these go. We're going to continue to sort of breed things off camera. As you can see, I've been working on over here. And we're going to switch gears. I think it's time to switch gears. How about you guys? You guys agree? I agree. So yeah. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to go clean up my inventory and head into the factory, and we'll get ready to switch over to something else. Alright, like I said, we are going to get started with something a little bit different. So it's going to start off with some gunpowder and some coal and some blaze powder to get some fire charges. And you might be able to guess what I'm thinking of here, but I think I'm going to leave it a little bit of a surprise if you don't. Oh, need a bit more cobblestone. Don't get to say that too often, do you? So yeah. Here we go. 9 of those should do the trick. And then we're going to take those with our fire charges and our bricks to make some solid fueled fireboxes. Cool. Now, probably don't have enough bricks just yet. Need, what, 14 more? Bet that's finished up in here. Yep. You can see I went on a little bit of an expedition for some clay so I could do this. There we go, 9 solid fueled fireboxes. And then we're going to need to get ourselves some iron plates, because I think we're going to go with that first. And we're going to take those iron plates, and I'm actually just going to take them with me, because we might need more than that, but we might not. So what are we going to do? Well, we're going to get ourselves a new form of buildcraft power using steam. Now we've made the hobbyist steam engines, and those have been, well, those have been okay, but we're going to basically move up a little bit and work on something new. And I think what we're going to do is, to keep this thing supplied with the resources it needs, we're going to use a little bit more railcraft stuff, because railcraft is cool. Why not? So basically, if we take 2 of these iron plates and stack them on top of each other, we're going to get these low pressure boilers. If we were using steel plates, these would be high pressure boilers. Let's see. I'm going to do some quick math here. We're going to need 9, 18, 27 if we make it 3 high, which means Gonna need a lot more iron plates than this. Yeah, a lot more. So I'm gonna get those going while I'm thinking about it. On the plus side, we have tons and tons of iron still, so I can really just afford to make a bunch of these iron plates. Because I mean, generally speaking, they've continued to be very, very useful. Oh, we already have a bunch in here. Oh well, we'll make some more. Why not? And we'll take those. And we'll just keep making more, because again, always going to need some more. So, let's see here. We're going to need, let's see, 16 more. Something like that. Should do the trick. So let's start piling these up. You can see they don't appear to connect until we actually connect up enough to have a viable boiler. And I believe that's going to be a viable boiler. We can do 3 by, well, technically 3, but 2 stacks of the boiler. We're actually going to do one more layer because I kind of like the big boilers. They could even do maybe one more. What do you guys think? Make it reach the ceiling? I kind of like that idea. Yeah, let's make it reach the ceiling, shall we? Should just need 9. That should do it. Came out pretty good, actually. So let's climb up here, get this last layer on here. There we go. Nice, gigantic boiler for our use. And you can see the inventory, or the GUI here. It's got room for steam, and we're going to have to supply it with water and fuel. Now, point of note, just like our hobbyist steam engines, if we have this heat up to full heat and it runs out of water and we put water into it, it's going to blow up spectacularly. So be careful about that. So we're going to need to get some water into this system. We should be able to do that with as simple as a aqueous accumulator, which we've made tons of before in the past. So I'm just going to try to slap it together pretty quick. Should have some stuff in here. Of course, I don't have any glass in here. Always missing something. Okay. And I'm always forgetting, where's our iron? There it is. Need a bucket. And I think we're gonna need copper as well. Let's take a look. And a pneumatic tube thingamajig. Not pneumatic tube, pneumatic servo. Made this thing about 1 billion times and I can never remember the recipe. I just have bad memory. Sorry. There we go. Aqueous accumulator. Cool. And we should have a couple spare buckets in here. Steal from you. That'll do. We should just be able to hook this thing up. We shouldn't need really any tubing, so long as we dig underneath here a little bit. Should be set. Cool. Put our water here, just like always. Aqueous accumulator in the middle, and cover up the rest. Boom, boom, boom. And yeah, that should easily fill. Actually, one thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to, yeah, look at this thing emptying out pretty fast. I'm just going to close up all its other sides and go from there. That works. You know, I'm honestly not sure if this would matter, but I have another idea. Let's put another block of water on the back side of the aqueous accumulator. I'm not actually certain that it'll do anything, but in the interest of experimentation, I'm going to try it. So if we just dig back here, we're going to make a big mess, but that's okay. We're going to have to deal with that. So if we put a water block right, whoop, come on, okay, there we go, right there, and then cover it back up. Does it seem like there's more water? I don't know. Leave that up to you guys to decide if there's more water in there, but it seems faster, I don't know. Anyway, so there we go. We should have unlimited water flowing into the steam boiler at all times. So as it stands, we could go ahead and grab a bit of fuel. I'm just going to use a bit of coal because we have quite a bit of that in abundance, and I just want to sort of get this thing started. So yeah, coal. Basically, we're just going to throw this thing. Oh, look at there we go. Fixed our distance rendering there. You can see it'll burn through coal, and it will actually burn through a ton of materials to get started. So I'm going to actually need to grab quite a bit more. Coal itself doesn't actually provide a ton of heat. As you can see, it's 3.2K compared to double that for coal coke. So yeah, let's grab some of that just to... We're going to burn through this stuff pretty quick, so I should probably have a bit just to keep us going. As you can see, it's going to chew through this material pretty fast. So yeah, but it's going to slowly heat up, and once it gets up to 100 degrees, it will start to boil the water, and we'll get steam. And we'll be able to use that steam to create buildcraft power. Awesome. So here's what I'm thinking, just so sort of map out at least what I'm kind of thinking of doing. I'm thinking of having basically a rail car delivery system for peat from our spare peat down there straight into our steam boiler here, which will obviously be pumping steam out into some engines that'll give us hopefully a bunch more maybe buildcraft power. We can also get some industrial craft power. This room definitely needs to be finished, but yeah, but there you go, steam boiler, very nice source of buildcraft power, and we can also, like I said, use it to make industrial craft power. Let's take a look here. If we were to make a steam turbine housing, you can see the recipe here. It's a little bit expensive, and we have to make these rotors to basically make it work properly, but yeah, it's kind of cool. So there you go. I'm not actually sure what we want to do with this just yet. Whether we want to... We definitely need to generate a lot more industrial craft power sometime soonish, but we also could probably use the build craft power, and I'm not exactly sure which way we're going to go first. We're definitely going to want to store this power, because this thing is pretty much going to run for basically an unlimited amount of time. So let me get together a few more things, and we'll decide exactly. I'm thinking maybe we should get started on a little more buildcraft power using some more steam powered engines. So yeah, let me get together stuff for those, and I'll be back. Alright, so here we go. You can see I've got myself quite a bit of materials. That is because we're going to need quite a few, because we're going to make a bunch of these. So, commercial steam engines, go, 18. This is going to produce a ton of power. You can see I've went ahead and got myself a redstone energy cell as well. So, let's take a look here. This thing's probably, yeah, it's up to temperature, but it definitely needs more fuel. And I'll just toss you in there. So, let's take a look here and figure out exactly where we want to set up these boilers. Now, let's see. How much space do we have? We've got 3 wide, which would mean we could do 6. So let's try and decide where the best place to start this would be and how we want to face it. I'm thinking... Let's see. How about something like this. Whoop. Obviously these are all facing crazy directions at the moment, but this is going to produce a ton of power, which is kind of what I want. So, where's our... We should have more redstone energy cells than that. Or not cells, but the conduits. There we go. Tons of those. Now we're also going to need some liquid pipes, so we should be able to use our liquiducts just fine. So yeah, so let's see. We're going to have power. Basically all the power pipes are going to be on top, so let's hook those up. And at least get this thing started. And of course it's going to be coming out of these, but we're going to have... Well, let's go ahead and grab our wrench and flip these around now. Where's our wrench? There it is. Whoop. Not the button I meant to hit. Held down shift on accident. So, yeah, power is going to be coming out of these, obviously. So let's just... flip these around. You might be wondering, why would you ever need this much buildcraft power? And the answer I give to you is simple. Because we probably need it at some point. Whoop. Trying to flip these around so they're facing the right way. Lots of flipping of everything around. Of course we can't have these face up until they have something up there to face, so... Whoop. Come on. There we go. And should be nearing about the end of those. So... Whoop. You're dealing with this many, it's kind of difficult to get them all facing the proper direction. Okay, there's 2 more left. This is looking pretty snazzy already. It looks impressive at the very least. And we have a problem. Cannot get through to that other one. Okay, we're gonna have to do this. Here we go. Flip that, and then we can put the last one down. Okay, that was an inordinate amount of work. Getting tongue-tied. Well, trust me, it'll be worth it. I think it'll be worth it at least. And we have what, 18 of these total? Do we have just enough liquiducts? I think we're gonna need more. Let me make some more liquiducts and we'll hook these up. Okay, here we go. Lots and lots and lots of liquiducts. Tons of them, in fact. I'm not quite sure how we're going to get this all working, but I think when it is, it will be cool. Whoop. That was not intended. Let's make sure our steam boiler is still going. It's obviously, right now we're wasting a bunch of this stuff, but we're trying to keep this thing up at temperature. And because we don't really want to lose that heat. Otherwise, we're really wasting resources. And I prefer not to waste resources, if possible. Sometimes it's not possible, but I prefer to try. So, we should just be able to hook these up. Shouldn't have to worry about flipping these around, because these are going to be where the steam is going. And then, we should be able to just... basically run it down here. There we go. And then we're going to run it straight up. Now this shouldn't connect, but it does. I actually don't know if that's going to matter. I don't see why it would, because there's not exactly any liquid in here but water. And there we go. So once steam starts to flow, we shouldn't have to worry about that. And on the plus side, we don't need any redstone signal to run steam out from the liquid duct. We are going to need to figure out how we're going to do a redstone signal to all this, because I just realized we have a problem. How are we going to get redstone signals to anything in the center of this mess? Yeah, that's a problem. So what we're probably going to have to do, I think I'll do this off camera, is I'm going to cut out the center of this and then basically redistribute all those in straight lines, and then we can do our red power down the center. So I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, there we go. Finally got everything running, and it's all redistributed. Now, as you can see, there's steam flowing through here, but it's actually not that much steam because it's only essentially pulling from this one block. So we can actually fix that by adding more pipes, and connecting them all to each other should be fine. So basically, we're just going to be connecting all these pipes together. Hopefully, sometimes it takes a few whacks to get it working right. It's a little bit finicky sometimes, so you gotta kind of be patient with it and keep hitting the things until it all connects. There we go. And then of course you also have to be a little bit careful that you fix it once you have it set. There we go. Did that? Okay, didn't actually flip that. Trying to be cautious. There we go. Okay. And it looks like everything's connected. And it's flowing. So if I go ahead and grab some red jacketed wiring, hook that up, we can test this out to see how this is going. Now you can also see, probably going to need a bit more than that, so let's go ahead and make some. Got our minium stone in here. And just make just a few more of these. Always worth having a bunch of, so there we go. A lot more than we need, but like I said, worth having, because we use a lot of it anyway. So if we just run that like so, we should be able to go ahead and just hook up, we'll just hook up a bit of cobblestone here, and come on. We're going to need a bit of wiring that I forgot. We don't have any in our bag, do we? Oh, come on. My mouse wheel is being finicky. There we go. Just a bit of that, and we should have levers on us, I think. Yeah, a couple levers. I've been trying to be in a better habit of carrying that stuff around with me, so that you guys don't have to see me constantly going, oh, I need levers. So if I just hook this up here and start it up, within just a couple seconds our steam engines will start to pump. And if we go ahead and hook up some conduits like so, where do we want to put this? Probably, how about right here? We can actually, there we go. And power's flowing in, and this should start inputting at a fairly good rate. So if we look at our engines, we can see they are full of steam and outputting at 4 megajoules per tick. So if we do the math, that's 18 times 4, that is, what, 72? Not quite the total input that this thing can take, but it is definitely impressive. Yeah. Very, very nice. And this appears to be getting plenty of steam from all of these pipes, which is also really good. I was a little worried that they wouldn't fill totally with steam, but no, it seems to be working beautifully. Just the way we want it. And obviously this is rapidly emptying of steam because it's not at solid temperature, and of course we're burning through our fuel pretty quickly. But yeah, once we get some automatic fuel delivery hooked up to this, this is going to be really neat. and I mean really, really neat. I'm thinking this should cap out at 4. Shouldn't go much higher than that. But yeah, look at that. We are building up tons and tons of buildcraft power. So basically, this is pretty much set. So I'm just gonna spend some time, cover this up, and when I come back, we'll look at our we'll start getting together some of the things we need. Sorry about that. Oh, tongue twister. I apparently cannot talk today. We'll start getting together the things we need to get some rail carts going. Alright, so just so you guys could see that I felt like being exceptionally excessive with my resources, I made I made some hollow covers and I made some solid covers. Obviously the hollow covers so the redstone signal can get through to the engines, and some solid covers just to sort of cover it up and make it look all cool and fancy. So there you go. Cool. Unfortunately, I wanted to be able to get to the rail carts this episode, but we're a little bit past the point where we need to call it. So, this is where we're going to call it. Basically, next episode, we're going to build some carts and some rails, and we're going to basically set up an automatic system for getting peat from our farm all the way over here, because this boiler is going to run on our excess peat. Sounds like a good plan to me. So yeah, until then, this has been episode 34 of Season 2 of DarkDragoon's Feed the Beast Modpack Let's Play. I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I'll catch you guys later.